What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rad Graham channel. I am Graham, back with a video that's been in the making for quite a long time, probably about 3 years. And I'm going to show a lot of footage aside from this, but this is kind of the introduction. But we're going to start finally restoring my 1999 Acura Integra LS.
What's the word on the 1999 Integra from Acura? We can sum up the Integra in 2 words: luxury and performance. It's the luxury of a standard 6-speaker CD music system, power moonroof, and dual airbags. It's the performance of a 170 horsepower VTEC charged all-aluminum engine and 4-wheel independent double wishbone suspension. Of course, with all of these features, it's no wonder automotive pundits have added a few words of their own.
Pretty much all stock. When I say pretty much, the only thing that's not stock on it is the headlights, which I got to change those out anyway. But the story on this is I bought it a few years ago, actually, for my daughter. And she, I put a bunch of money into it to get it running because with her first car, she was used to driving around in her mom's brand new car and didn't realize that older cars had different noises and different sounds and took bumps differently. And so she always thought that something was wrong with it. Of course, I think I really bought the car for myself because I absolutely love this vehicle. So she ended up moving out of state and she left the car. And since it was still mine, I went ahead and took it back. And I've had it now for about a year now. And it's just been sitting outside and collecting dust. And I've already put a lot of work into it. I'm going to kind of go over what that is. I've spent, I think, $3,000 for it, and which is during the middle of COVID, so I'm pretty sure I overpaid for it. And it was very clean. I'm the 5th owner. It's originally bought by somebody out of Florida. But so now that I got the engine pretty much running really well, and it ran well to begin with, but I did everything else really for my daughter to make her feel more comfortable or safe with the vehicle being done. So now it's a lot of cosmetic stuff. I'm gonna just sit down in the car and kind of go over what has already been done from an actual mechanic. And this was all, I mean, aside from the power steering hose that needed to be done because it was leaking everywhere, everything else was pretty much fine. But it did need to be updated a bit. So I got a new battery in there, new spark plugs, plug wires, did the front brake pads and the rotors in the back, a tune-up, kind of a fuel system flush. I did replace the intermediate shaft, the axle shaft assembly, CV axle shaft, tie rods, outer tie rods. What else here? New alternator. And all new belts for the AC. And that's the one thing, the AC makes a crazy ass noise when I turn it on, but yet the compressor works just fine. The AC blows cold, but it is loud. I've had people look at it and they're like, yeah, well, I mean, it's just a loud car. And sorry if you see sweat glistening down my face. It's this is South Texas, where we have over 104, 105 degree days. And of course I'm sitting inside the car, which is hot. So actually the paint job's not too bad. It's just the clear coat has come off, but my daughter did cause that. So I'm going to get it repainted eventually anyway. And it is dusty and dirty. In the next video, I'm going to redetail this again. This is what happens when it sits outside. But I did clear out a space in my garage. And so now I'm going to be able to, I park it in there. I just, haven't washed it yet. So got the original rims. It is not the VTEC. I will eventually do a VTEC LS swap. And get that done. And it is a manual. I'm sorry, it's an automatic, which, believe it or not, the engine or the VTEC will still make this car a hell of a lot faster. With me, guys, I've had stick shift before. I love them, and obviously it will not be as fast as a stick shift. But with 3 meniscus tears in my knee, and then recently with my broken pelvis, I don't want to be shifting gears. So the interesting thing about this vehicle is I have these, she put these covers on them, is it's actually leather seats, which in all the ones I seem to see online or for sale are always the cloth seats. So this guy upgraded. It's still got the original CD tape deck, I cannot get the CD player to work, but I finally got the cassette player, and of course the radio works. And so I love it. I have a ton of cassettes. I got a mixtape in there right now. So what needs to be done now, aside from the paint job, is I need new motor and control arms, or motors for the windows. This one goes down pretty well. The driver's side is stuck. And then the lock is stuck, the automatic lock, so I'm going to be replacing that. And since we're going to have the door panels off, I'm going to get all new speakers all around. I'm keeping the stereo. I'm not getting rid of that, but I will add an amp to it to make it louder. Eventually, I will. I think the back seats are fine. I will have the front seats redone with leather. I'm going to keep it as original as possible. And then under the hood, of course, I'm going to soup it up a bit. And I need a new antenna. It's stuck down, doesn't operate, so I'm going to replace that. And since we'll have those panels off in the first place, and I'll be able to replace that. And then also my seatbelt coil could just be an easy fix, but since that's going to be off, I'm going to wind up doing that. So like I said, this is going to be the beginning of a new series, a new playlist that I'm going to put up on the channel. This is part one, and actually I needed upper control arms in the vehicle so I can get it aligned. My buddy Justin already did that, and that's in another video. And so everything else is just cosmetic. I'm a pretty good detailer.
Well, here's an extra $1.
In the next video, I'm gonna rewash the car, re-detail the interior. They got it to me pretty good, but then over the last couple of years, my daughter did take pretty good care of it. But then the last year, it's just, you know, I haven't really cleaned it, which is why it's coated in dust and dirt and cobwebs and spider webs and all that fun stuff. So if this is the type of content that you like, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, because this is going to be a new several part series. It's going to be on a playlist of its own. It's going to be part one, and just going to be filming the restoration of this car over the next year or so. Hopefully I can get it done pretty quick. So if you love video games, you love VHS, you love vintage toys, subscribe to the channel. If that's not your thing, subscribe to the channel if you like cars, because this is going to be the one that I'm going to be fixing up. It's going to be really fun to watch. And so appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video.